Hello traders, and welcome to this video analysis looking at the British pound. So traders, we continue to see the pound just slowly edging higher, and we understand why this is happening because at the moment the risk of a no-deal Brexit has really started to subside as Parliament passed a law forcing Boris Johnson to have to ask for an extension to the 31st of October deadline by the EU if he cannot get a deal by the 17th of October. And they basically tied his hands and not allowed him to be able to call for a no deal because Parliament has to be the one who accepts a no deal Brexit by a parliamentary vote. And Boris Johnson cannot now act as if he's like some dictator who can decide what happens with Brexit by himself. So this risk of a no-deal Brexit is starting to move away and into the background, and we're probably going to get an extension to around January 2020, and that obviously takes away the risk of a lot of negative sentiment towards a no-deal Brexit, which has been built into the pound for quite a while. So could we see the pound recover from these recent losses? Is very likely we could see this happen. So we need to just see how the pound performs over the next few weeks. Are we going to see the currency really starting to edge higher slowly? And if this does play into the market, traders definitely want to be getting in and buying the currency and just trying to ride it as it kind of recovers in the markets moving forward. We must remember a general election is the most likely outcome. And if the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, gets in power, he's already said that he's going to offer a second referendum. So hopefully that can be the situation, because remember, the pound is still hugely undervalued against the dollar since the 2016 election. So if that was the case and the UK did remain in the EU, after all, we'd have a huge 21% rally in the pound, because this is where the pound was trading before Brexit happened back in 2016. So at the moment, traders, pound's pushing higher. We understand the fundamental reasons why. We know why the pound had been getting weaker before, because of the risk of a no-deal Brexit. So moving forward, let's see how developments between trade talks between the United Kingdom and the EU progress moving forward. And if they look like it's going to work towards a deal, then we can see the pound push higher on hopes of a deal. And even if they can't reach a deal, we have an extension coming up, which could continue to boost the currency. So against the yen, we're pushing higher, which is great. We're going to hold this position and hopefully see the pound push higher. I've been monitoring the pound against the Swiss franc, which is also pushing higher. And again, if we get above 124, this would be my cue to jump in and buy the currency. But let's see if all these previous weakness in the pound can be reversed, because this risk of a no-deal Brexit now has started to subside. Again, for the pound against the Aussie dollar, not really much movement for this currency pair. But overall, if you're looking at the pound, we of course have seen it rise to current levels over the past few weeks by around 2-3%, because of these Brexit risks also subsiding. I think it's the New Zealand dollar. Again, we've seen the pound recover quite a lot against this currency, up now nearly 5%. And again, if the Brexit risk continues to fade into the background, we could expect to see the currency move higher. So if we get a move above 194, I've already set my alarms. That could be a buy signal to jump in and trade the currency pair higher. Same could be said for the Canadian dollar. If we can get above 163,500 in the markets, and the euro pound also has been pushing lower in recent weeks, and I've set an alarm here also to see if we can get below the previous lows, and that could be a signal for us to short this currency pair to the downside. But clearly, traders, sentiment towards the pound has got more positive because this Brexit no-deal risk has subsided, and hopefully they can reach a deal and we can be prepared to buy the pound quite aggressively in the markets and make more money from the currency. But let's see what happens. Let's see how trade talks progress, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you for watching.